So let's get into the energy of number 4. I'm going to change this with you so I don't pause it and do what I'm missing on the phone here. So I'm going to just change my numbers and change the date to June 7th so you can kind of follow along with me what I'm doing here and adding up everything. So you're going to go down here, change it. So when I get into adding these numbers together, you're going to see that it'll become a 22. And when I add the 2 plus the 2, it'll be a 4. So I'm going to go through that real quick. So we've got June 7th. Again, take out the zeros because the zeros don't count. So I've got 6 plus 7 is 13, plus 2 is 15, plus 2 is 17, plus 5 is 22. Breaking down 22 because it needs to be broken down into a single digit number. 2 plus 2 equals 4. So if you just think about that for a second, right? In this particular case, we have a 2 and we have a 2. So it's like you've got a balance plus the balance is giving you a fundamental, right? So I don't know if you're following along with me yet, but I'll get there. I'll explain it. But I just want you to see that in any combination of a 4, 4 means something more, but you're always going to get a 4 by adding 1, 2, or 3, or a combination of those. So it's either going to be 1 and 3, 2 and 2. You know what I mean? You're going to have to get to it eventually. So just think about how we're building upon these numbers as we're going through. So we're going to go into a number 4. And so I don't forget, again, because I don't want to forget any of these numbers and colors. I'm going to give you the colors first and then the gemstones so that I don't miss those completely. Okay, so on a universal day number 4, the colors that work best for you are going to be green, any shade of green really, gray, any shade of gray, and then instead of it being any shade of brown, it's not particularly any shade of brown, it's more of like a lighter shade of brown, like a medium to light color shade of brown. Those are the ones that work best for the energy of number 4, and I'm going to explain that to you why. So let me give you the gemstones first. So on that day, gemstones that are associated with the universal day of number 4 is tiger's eye. If you know what tiger's eye looks like, it's that brown color stone with black stripes through it and the gold stripes that kind of stick out, and really a shiny, shimmery, beautiful stone. But the tiger's eye stone is associated with day number 4. And also, again, what was the other one? Clear quartz crystal, right? Because clear quartz crystal goes with any day numerologically. So we've got tiger's eye, clear quartz crystal, sapphire, and topaz. Those are the best gemstones to wear with energy of number 4. So why green, gray, and brown? Let's go back to fundamentals, right? You got your 1, then you got your 2, which is balanced, and you got 3, which gives you the triangle. When you now take in the 4th point of this, now you get a square, right? So you got 4 points. I know that looks like a rectangle, but we're going to make it look like a square. So when you got your 4 points all together, that's going to give you your square. So besides the triangle being one of the strongest structures for a foundation, the square is actually one of the strongest ones for foundation when it comes to housing, when it comes to protecting us as human beings. If you think about that, you can have 4 points of a house that needs to be built on a solid foundation. So when you have a 4, that foundation, where does foundation go? It goes in the earth, right? In the earth, what energy and colors go with the energy of earth? Green, brown, because you have dirt, green for earth and grass and plants and everything else. And then you have gray, which is stone. So we have to dig through the stones and the material, get through to the earth level, which is the dirt, and then we have the plants and nature that are on top of it. So those 3 colors are associated with the number 4 because it's our structure, it's our foundation on earth. So I'm trying to make it connect for you logically here so you can kind of see that, you know, it is building up to things. But if you take a look at my chakra lady in the back over here, we're going up the chakras as well when we go through the numbers. So if you take your 4th chakra, that's the heart chakra, and that is associated with the color green as well. So that's again on the earth energy, but green has to do with heart-centeredness. So keep that in mind as we're going through, and I'm giving you some more information. But the planet that's associated with number 4, and I have a feeling I forgot the planet on number 3. If I did, I'll go back and edit the video, but Jupiter's with number 3, and with number 4, it's Uranus. So I'm just making sure I cover everything. I feel so bad. I'm like trying to get these done, but I'm not going back and re-recording everything, so we'll just edit them. When we come to the number 4 universally, and you think about what I just said about the foundation, what else do we have 4 of? We have 4 elements. So literally the number 4 is associated with the 4 elements. And for those of you who don't know what they are, it is earth, air, fire, and water. So it is finding the balance within those 4, which is why it's so closely tied to our foundation of the square, because we have to have all 4 of those elements to incorporate it. But in order to build ourselves a structure, we have to build it on earth, the ground. So those colors are associated with ground. But in order to have a structure on earth, we need to have all of those elements to create it, if you think about it, right? So you have to have the air to help make things move. You have to have fire to help man the machinery. You have to have water in order to create smooth edges and create things and finish things off. Just, you know, and then you have to have physically earth, because if you think about it, when you built a house back in the day, most of them were built out of logs. So let's go with what the elements are for what they were in their raw nature, and how you have to shape shift those in order to make yourself a foundation. So with energy number 4, it is very much associated with the 4 elements. It is associated with the world, because again, we live on the planet Earth, which is considered our world. So it is considered the energy that connects with number 4, because it's associated with all 4 elements on our planet. I know a lot of people will say metal as well. I understand that. I'm not denying that metal is an element. But for the fact of numerology and astrology and a lot of other things that we're dealing with in the practice of the numerology that I focus on, it is the 4 elements. And then because it's associated with Earth, Mother Earth, so Earth is associated with Mother. The number 4 is associated with the Mother energy. It is associated with being grounded, if you think about it, because again, we're dealing with Earth. We're dealing with being on the ground, building our foundation. So if you think about it, it makes sense logically if you see it for what it truly is and why these numbers and energies work with each other. So 4 is all about being grounded. It is about being in touch with the earth elements. It's about going outside and being in nature. It's about dealing with the elements altogether. It is also about limits and knowing your limits. So let's take the house structure, for example. You have to know when you can build up to, like what level you can build up to, because not every foundation, not every structure that you're building on can handle a certain amount of building or a certain height or a certain weight restriction on the area that it's being built. So we have to know within the energy of number 4, what are our limitations? The other thing that's associated with it is discipline, and that also comes into play with knowing your limits. It's knowing when to have discipline to do something and push forward, or when to stop. So a lot of these are very strategically placed together, but also extremely logical when you really kind of place them together. Number 4 is also associated with matter, because if you think about where we are on the planet and how things work chemically and through the periodic table, we're all elements of stardust, right? So we have to deal with matter. So not only is it just matter, but actually what matters. So 4 is associated with physical matter, and it also deals with what matters into your life. And let's see, what else am I missing? I don't want to forget my keywords. Music. How can I forget music? So 4, because you're dealing with the elements, all 4 elements that are working on our planet. And if you think about what most instruments are made out of, they're made out of, again, being built out of all the elements of the earth. So on day number 4, anybody who is musically inclined, or anybody who wants to be musically inclined, or who just loves music in general, you'll typically find that you're probably listening to more music on those days, or more music that actually matters or that affects yourself as far as emotionally, vibrationally. If you're in a bad mood, it might really just bring you up. If you're working through something that's kind of heavy on you for that day, or literally through the day of the universe that we're dealing with the number 4, then music can actually be a great way to uplift everybody and unify people together. So those would be great days where we have like celebrations going on and people are in a big gathering and there's a lot of music going on. Those are great days to have moving with energy of number 4. Okay, so then I'm going to get over to what to really look for as far as like when you're in a location or when you're offered something. And I don't mean a physical location, but mentally you can be in a location and have a conversation about something that has to do with being in a location or changing location. I want you to know that when it comes to the number 4, It is a time to look for opportunities of, guess what? Growth, right? Because we're here on Earth. We're dealing with the grounding energy. What happens with the ground? Plants and trees and everything else, flowers grow out of the ground, so it's growth. It is constantly reaching upwards towards the sky. It's reaching up towards the sun to get the energy that it needs for that chlorophyll. So let's think about the fact that there's new opportunities that might be made available to you to grow and develop. So, you think about plant developing and growing. Same thing with the energy and the opportunity for us in different locations or different spaces around us and what's happening. So you might have had under number 1 a birth of a new idea. Number 2, it was being able to put it into a creative space in order to let it gestate and grow a little bit, kind of work its magic and see how does it feel within you. Then on day 3, you might have communicated with somebody about that creation or that business idea or whatever it is that you were looking to create or have happen in your life. And now on day 4, if you think about it systematically here, what's the next progression? How do we actually put it into fruition and put some type of growth or some seed behind it, give it some type of nurturing to allow this to grow? This is where you get that energy of, will it grow? Can it grow? Do you want it to grow? Let's, feel it for that. And then, again, because it goes right along with everything else, about the vibration of that day is all about starting new projects and helping those who are around you and others helping you. So starting new projects, again, you just went through this whole process of creating it, mentally creating it and coming up with birthing a new idea. Then you came into the space of being able to be creative and physically create what you would like it to look like and allow it to gestate and grow a little bit more in your mind. 3, communicate about it. And now 4, it's actually going into action. Start the new project or see how others can help you or you can help others around you. Okay, I think I covered everything for number 4. I'm going to pause this and start a new video and do numbers 5 and 6 so that these videos are not getting too long for some of you. Okay, I'll be back.